Shalom, family. It's good to see you all here. We're going to talk about a bust that occurred up in New York. We know that a lot of the illegals had vending stands that, of course, you need a permit to set up. And they got in front of legitimate businesses in New York and they sold things that a lot of it was shoplifted out of stores in New York. And I'll show you some of the shots. I have a quick 24-second video that I'm going to show you, but the NYPD finally went out and confiscated everything and ran them off. Now, the business owners on the street, they have been complaining for a long time about these illegals being out there selling in front of their stores. And they never did anything for a long time, but they finally got around to it. You know, it's amazing how much these illegal immigrants can get away with in this country that the average citizen could never get away with at all. If one of us went out in those same spots and illegally start selling things with no permit, they would have came out there the instant they heard about it. But with these folks, they let it go on for a long time before NYPD showed up. And you know what they're going to do? They're just going to go to another street and start it all up again. That's all they're going to do. So let me show you this quick video. And all right. First, can everybody see my screen? Please give me a one if you can see the screen. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you. Okay, so they were all up and down this street. And like I said, a lot of the stuff they were selling was stolen goods. So let's get into it. So this recently happened, y'all, not long ago. NYPD raids illegal New York City open air migrant market, sending crooked vendors scrambling. So when NYPD showed up, they all ran off, and that's why they were out there, NYPD, gathering the merchandise they had on the ground that was up for sale. So NYPD on Monday raided a troubled Jackson Height block where migrant crooks peddled stolen goods and hookers. Okay, so you sold your butt and you sold goods, okay, stolen goods. Their trade in broad daylight, one day after an expose in the Post. The police and city staffers converge on the illicit open air market shortly after 4:30 p.m., grabbing merchandise sold by illegal vendors at a steep discount on blankets and beach towels laid out on the sidewalk along Roosevelt Avenue near 91st Street. But the bigger fish slipped through their fingers, the thieves themselves. They apparently, y'all, got tipped off. Okay, so how did they get tipped off? That sounds like it's possibly an inside job with the police. I'm just saying, how did they get tipped off? Who tipped them off? Because they knew when to leave. When NYP showed up, they knew how to get the hell up on out of there, leaving all the merchandise and everything behind. So they said someone tipped them off by spotters who kept watch on the shady operation, sending the vendors scrambling to pack the goods into waiting SUVs and screeching off mere seconds before police arrived. We responded today, NYPD Chief of Patrol John Shell said at the scene. We've been here before, whether it be brothels, illegal bikes, vending now. So this will be a continued process. It's going to take a while, but we owe it to the residents of Queens. Wow. But you know what? They could have had people out there as lookouts, just to make sure the police didn't come up. I mean, that very well could have been the case, but they said they were definitely tipped off. So, you know what? I also got some slides. Let me see. Every time I come on here, my screen gets stuck. Ooh, they don't want me to do this. They don't want me to do it. All right. Oh boy. All right, hold on, y'all. I gotta take this call. This is really important. Hold on for 1 second. Hello? Yes. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's some of the still shots. They had a lot of stuff that they have stolen over, several months that they're selling out there, and they finally got busted. So here's some more stuff, and you can tell it's winter because they got the coats and everything they got on. Yeah, they've been doing this for quite some time. Mm-mm-mm. And they said some of the clothes they jumped in those bins. You know how you have the bins out there where you could donate clothes? Well, they said they were stealing out of those bins the clothes that were donated from the public and selling those clothing along with stolen goods. And it looked like those are all sneakers and boots. I see boots. Mm-mm-mm. Here's some look like those are power tools there. Yeah, they are. Can you imagine they stole all this stuff? Stole it all. Damn. Woo. Mm-mm-mm. You let a black man even steal one of those boxes out of a store, they'll try to put you in jail for the next 10 to 20 years. What's that? That's Colgate toothpaste right here. I'm just trying to see what those look like. Maybe possibly t-shirts there, but that's a bunch of toothpaste. I don't know what's in these boxes. And then you got to look at the carts behind them. They got merchandise in them too. But here's the problem, y'all. Here's the big issue and why I do this. These illegals come over here, they have gotten so much help. They commit crimes, and the vast majority of them don't get placed in jail. They just get held for maybe 24 hours and they let them back out on the streets. And you see all the illegal activity, pickpocketing, stealing, burglary, and these are the same ones that sit around and call black people lazy. These illegals coming across the border, doing all this stuff, all these crimes, getting all these handouts, and calling us lazy. Yeah, that's why I do these stories. And I'm going to keep doing these stories and calling it out over and over and over. So here you got them not working at a business, not doing that. No, doing some illegal mess out on the streets. And they said, and they were selling prostitutes in the same location that they were selling all this merchandise in. And you can see right across from them are actual stores, people that legally open up these stores. And it's the store owners were the biggest complainers to the city. They were like, wait a minute, we're trying to conduct business, and all these people are right out in front of our businesses selling all this illegal stuff. Mm-mm-mm. And remember, they said they were selling even women. Yeah. And they didn't like these women being out in front of the store, that they were selling their behinds out there in the same place they were selling the merchandise. Unbelievable. So that's just NYPD, loading up all their merchandise. Yeah, it looks like a truck that they're loading it all on. Oh, that's okay. They'll just go back in some more stores and start stealing again. From what I was looking at in the article, bananas, they said this was not the first time they've done it before, and they just turned around and went back out there and started everything up again. And I'm just telling y'all, what NYPD did on Monday. Don't even be surprised if an article will come out next week saying they're in a whole different location in Queens. That's all they're going to do. They're just going to move somewhere else and set the whole thing back up. All right. And you can just see a few more NYPD officers, and they're still gathering all the stuff they had all down on the ground selling. But yeah, they got a lot of nerve, y'all. Got a lot of nerve trying to talk about us. So, just to let you know, there are some updates also that I need to do on Israel. But before we get to that, all right, let me get back to this because it did kind of cut off when I got booted out. All right, so members of New York City Police Department conducted a raid and confiscated clothes, fruit, shoes, and other items from vendors who were selling the items on the sidewalk, which you need a permit, or otherwise you can't even be on the sidewalk selling it. NYPD raided a troubled Jackson Heights block where migrants they peddled stolen goods. Chell said police, the sanitation department, and other agencies took part in the raid. So they reported Sunday that the Queens neighborhood had deteriorated into an illegal migrant shopping district where goods stolen from nearby retailers were sold outside of with steep discounts. Frustrated merchants complained that they see the merchandise snatched from their shelves for sale on the sidewalk, but are helpless to do anything about it. Yeah, I bet you if they try to take their merchandise back, the police will come out there and arrest the store owner and not the illegal. I mean, that's how messed up these laws are. So, one underground vendor boasted a full display of power tools, which I showed you, still bearing tags from the nearby Home Depot. Meanwhile, S workers prowled the street from early morning with madams pointing out potential Johns, a local walk up serving as a sleazy bordello. So they said they returned on Monday to find many of the larger crook vendors had taken off the day, scared off by the TV crews, the police, the sanitation department that showed up. So the NYPD say they do periodic drive-by patrols with the nearest precinct less than 5 blocks away, also serve to put a chill on the illegal going ons in the area. When the NYPD raid materialized, S workers slipped indoors to wait out the cops. Mm, mm, mm. Lookouts alerted some of the thieves before the NYPD swept in. S workers patrol a stretch of Jackson Heights from morning until night, part of a lawless open air market. Mm-mm-mm. So, Yeah, I told you about the power tools and everything. Wow, they got everything out there. Mm-mm-mm. City records show that there have been more than 2 dozen 311 complaints so far this year about the shady business on the block, including gripes about unsightly conditions and illicit activity. So, but locals complain that once the police are gone, the business just starts up as usual. They'll be back, no question. So this is what one of the store merchants are saying, that just because they did the sweep on Monday, they're going to come back and start it up again. So they've done it before. TV cameras and cops ran them off today, but they'll be back by tonight. Most of them are standing right there right now, monitoring, just the, they're watching the cops and waiting for the cops to leave. That's what they're saying. They're just sitting back and monitoring the situation. And then once everybody leaves, the camera crews, the cops, the sanitation department, they're going to sweep right back in and set everything back up. But, it's no good if they're not going to arrest anybody. They got stolen goods. And you notice NYPD was not even interested in arresting any of these illegal immigrants with stolen merchandise. Nowhere in the article did it talk about them trying to track them down and arrest them. Nope. They just came out there, grabbed up the merchandise, and cleaned up the area that they were in and left. Nobody got arrested. They didn't go out patrolling to see if they could track down some of the illegal vendors or the S workers. Nothing. Just took the stuff on the ground and left. I guess that's what they call a sweep. Not much of a sweep to me. Know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, y'all. If this was our people, we wouldn't even get away with a fraction of it. For real. We wouldn't get away with a fraction. Hmm. Yeah, well, they won't even send these folks back. Now, I did all those videos on Leandro Moreno. His butt ain't deported. They still did not deport him. He's still being held in custody. He hasn't been deported. That's why I'm saying they're going to wait for the story to die out. Don't be surprised if he crops up on social media again, or you'll hear about him out there again. Don't be surprised, and he won't be detained. He'll be free. I think they're going to let him go. I don't believe he's ever going to be deported. That's just my opinion. You know, I think they're being very quiet about it. And then next thing you know, he's going to be right back, if not in Ohio, somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no incentive for them not to come back and set it up. Number one, like I said, nobody got arrested. Nobody's going to get deported for selling stolen goods out on the streets. Nobody is going to get deported from selling their behind out on the street either. So they know they're safe. They know they're safe. And you know what? In the police gathering up this merchandise, I bet you they probably got tons and tons of more merchandise that they stole stashed somewhere. Because early in the article, it says that they come and set all of that stuff up on the ground, and they come out of SUVs. They got these SUVs with all the merchandise in it. So trust me, those SUVs probably still got a lot of merchandise in them that they never put on the ground yet. But yeah, that's the part I don't like. I just don't like how they come here, commit crimes, getting paid on the taxpayer money, getting paid for hotels and everything else. But when they form their lips about us, they talking about some lazy. You got some damn nerve. Yes, AOC's district. Yep, it sure is, JJ. It sure is. And if you notice, she hasn't said anything about all of the illegal selling that's going on in her district. She doesn't say a word. But what she did say was, when we were talking about reparations, she was talking about Hispanics should get reparations. I'm like, girl, please go somewhere and sit down. They're already getting reparations. Look at the monthly um, debit cards and money they're getting every single month. They're already getting reparations. What are you talking about? They're getting something that we're not getting. They are getting it already. All right. I see some of y'all gave some donations. FBA Queen, thank you for the super chat. Hashtag one, number one. Happy new Black Media Month. Keep FBAs on code. Thank you. And the Ghost Tiger 144, you said, I'm sending you a story about an illegal brothel owner who is busted in Illinois. Love you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. Cynthia Brooks, thank you for the super sticker. Dorothea Knox, thank you for the super sticker. And the Nogite Israelite, aka as Black Cougar 1959. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for your support. Yeah. So, you know, it is just, it's irritating when we see all of these things that would easily put our people behind bars, these folks getting away with it. And just imagine, on top of everything they're doing illegal, they're getting money every single month. Mm-mm-mm. And we got our brothers and sisters homeless and riding subway cars all night long because they have nowhere else to go. And I seen some of those pictures, and it is just heartbreaking. Just looking at our people laying on those hard, cold seats and laying all over the subway all night long because they literally don't have anywhere to go. And they're housing these folks. And many of them are out and about committing crimes. I think I had told y'all there was a sister walking alone in the city, and one of those illegals on a moped spotted her and tried to snatch her purse, but this sister fought hard and they did not get away with her purse. She was able to fight them off. So, women are still their primary target out there. So, my sisters that live in New York, please be careful. Please be careful out there, especially if you're in the city by yourself. Well, in New York, somewhere along the line, they also stop it, but for a while, they'll just leave them alone. But eventually, they'll get around to trying to put a stop to people doing that. But I think they don't come down so hard because they know many of them are homeless, and that's why they're doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, Kid Gravity. Shalom. Yeah. So I just wanted to update y'all on this. I'm going to let you go. There is an update on Israel. They're looking like they're getting their Air Force together to retaliate on Iran. So I think that's probably going to be happening sometime this week because they're really trying to get everything organized. And I was also reading early this morning how their fighter jets are flying out there in the ocean and they are sinking the warships of Iran. And I did see that earlier this morning. That's what they're doing now. And I was like, I knew they weren't going to listen to Joe Biden and not retaliate. Come on. I knew this is Israel you're talking about. Come on. There's no way they were not going to retaliate on what Iran did in bombing them. But y'all know how it started in Syria. It was Israel that bombed their embassy and killed their generals and some soldiers that were up in that building. And that's how this whole thing got started. So we shall see if it's going to ultimately be back and forth or not. We shall see. And I don't think it's going to be a long wait. So, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day and be on the lookout for my videos and any live streams that I may have in the very, very near future. Shalom, family.